Hey guys, welcome back to another art lesson at the Bakersfield Museum of Art. My name is Curtis, and today I want to share with you a really fun single color exercise which I think that you can get a lot of use out of. Now you may be thinking that using just a single color in a piece of artwork may be a little bit limiting, but as we see in our exercise, you can really do a lot with it. But before we get into our exercise, I want to talk to you a little bit about an artist named E.F. Kitchen and her work using just a single color. E.F. Kitchen was born in 1951. She began her career in Paris in the 1970s. Kitchen initially focused on producing films under her company Luke and Lisa, and would continue this work in Los Angeles a decade later. She has made platinum and palladium printing her primary medium for most of her artistic career. This technique was developed in the late 19th century. In this piece, entitled Magnolia 1, we can see how this process produces rich and beautiful tones of just a single shade, that being black and white, also known as monochrome. For our project, you will need construction paper, watercolor paints, a paintbrush, a pen or marker, tape, and a dish of water. You will also need a few objects to draw and paint. I will be using these objects as my subject matter. You're welcome to use them as well, and I'll have their image up throughout the entire lesson. I've created both a color image as well as a black and white image to help me to assign value as I lay down my color. To begin with, I've selected a colored piece of construction paper. The lighter the color, the better this will work. So I've gone ahead and opted for a light orange color. I then tape the construction paper down to my workspace. Next, using my pen or marker, I will begin to lightly sketch my subject matter. I will be adjusting the value of my lines later on, so a light sketch will work for right now. Don't worry if your sketch doesn't turn out perfectly or exactly the way that you want it to. This is just an exercise in value of color and line, and is just being used for practice. Plans can be difficult to draw as they encompass many layers. However, a simple and light sketch of a plant will work well for this exercise. What's most important is that we have the general shape of all of our objects on our paper. Now that we have our simple sketch drawn, we can begin to add value to our lines. We can accomplish this by carefully tracing over the lines that we've already made with our original sketch. By thickening and darkening the lines that we have in place, we create more definition to our shapes, and this will make for a more interesting composition. If you'd like, you can also add the intricate pattern that is found on the bowl. However, this is not required for the next step. If you have different sizes of pens or markers available, this would be a good time to use them for practice on this intricate pattern. If you choose to, you can also add in the pattern of flowers found on the object in the back. With our sketch complete, we can begin to add our watercolor. Now for this project, you're only going to be using a single color. I've selected orange as it coincides with the light orange construction paper that I've selected. Before adding paint to your piece, be sure to study your subject matter. This will help you to determine what value of color should be used in each section. As you can see, the bowl in front is the lightest of the objects found in my subject matter. So I will want to keep this object light as well, and I will do this by simply adding some shading to the bowl as necessary. On the other hand, the tall object in back is far darker than the front two objects, so I will want to make sure to make this object darker than the others. For my plant, I'll add some simple shading to give it some depth, and to help it look more layered. A good way to think of this portion of the exercise is that we are adding the initial layer of color to our piece. We will be adding more layers as we go. These additional layers will help to add value to the colors that we already have in place. Once you are happy with the initial layer, you can begin to add another layer of color. This second layer of color will be used to darken the initial color that we already had in place. This layer should also only cover a portion of the first layer. Refer back to your subject matter as often as you need to determine where shadows and deeper colors lie. For the darkest portions of my piece, I'll want to make sure and add many layers of color, making it contrast with the rest of my work. You'll also want to include a background in your piece. This is mainly so that we can practice adding shadows to our work. We can see in our example image that the light source is coming from the left-hand side, so the shadows are going to be on the right-hand side of each object. Adding these shadows will make for a more interesting composition. And here I have my finished example. How did yours turn out? So, what do you think? As you can see, using a single color and some lines, you can create a really beautiful piece of artwork. I really hope you enjoyed today's lesson, and I hope you join us again next time. Thanks, and have a great day. If you'd like to help restart the arts in California, please visit californiansforthearts.org to see how you can help.